Have you ever wondered what happened right after the Prophet Muhammad passed away? Who would lead the Muslim community? Today, we're diving into a pivotal event in Islamic history known as the Saqifa of Bani Sa'idah. This was the gathering where a leader was chosen, but the story is far from simple. We'll be exploring how Twelver Shia scholarship interprets this event, historically, theologically, and politically. It's a perspective that shapes the beliefs of millions of Muslims worldwide. Before we go any further, I'm curious, what do you already know about Saqifa? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get started. To understand Saqifa, we need to set the scene. The Prophet Muhammad had just passed away. The community was in a state of shock and grief. Many of his closest companions, including his cousin and son-in-law, Imam Ali, were busy with the solemn duty of preparing his body for burial. But according to the Shia perspective, the question of leadership wasn't supposed to be an open debate. They believed the Prophet had already designated his successor at a place called Ghadir Qum just a few months earlier. There, he had famously declared, "For whomever I am his master, Ali is also his master." For Shia Muslims, this was a clear divine appointment, not just a political endorsement. Have you heard of the event of Ghadir before? Let us know with a quick poll on the screen. While the Prophet's family, the Banu Hashim, were absorbed in the funeral rites, a different kind of gathering was taking place. A group of the Ansar, the local inhabitants of Medina, from the AWS and Khazraj tribes, met at a hall called the Saqifa of Bani Sa'idah. They were anxious about the future and wanted to secure leadership for themselves. Soon, they were joined by a few of the Muhajirun, the emigrants from Mecca. A heated debate began about who should lead the community now that the Prophet was gone. From a Shia point of view, this meeting was highly problematic. It happened suddenly, without the knowledge or consultation of the Prophet's own family. Shia scholars argue that by excluding Imam Ali and the Banu Hashim, who were occupied with the most sacred duty of burying the Prophet, the gathering went against the very instructions and precedents the Prophet had set. So, what was really at stake during this meeting? It was a fundamental question about the nature of leadership in Islam. Should the leader be chosen through a political process, like an election or a consensus among a few? Or is leadership a divine station, appointed directly by God through his Prophet? This is the core of the Caliphate versus Imamate debate. The Shia view is that the Imamate, the religious and political leadership of the community, is not something that can be decided in a political meeting. It's a divine mandate bestowed upon individuals chosen by God for their infallibility, knowledge, and spiritual purity. Therefore, the decision made at Saqifa is seen not as a religiously sanctioned appointment, but as a political maneuver that sidelined the divinely appointed successor. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think leadership should be chosen by community vote or divine appointment? Let me know by choosing an option in the poll. Now, how did Imam Ali react to all this? Shia sources are clear that he did not immediately pledge allegiance to the newly appointed caliph. His priority was the burial of the Prophet Muhammad and the monumental task of compiling the revelations of the Quran and into a single volume. He firmly believed that he was the rightful successor, not out of personal ambition, but based on the explicit statements the Prophet had made throughout his life, most notably at Ghadir Qum. So why didn't he fight for his right? According to Shia tradition, Imam Ali chose patience and restraint. He saw that an open conflict would shatter the fragile unity of the young Muslim community and could easily lead to civil war. Preserving the message of Islam was more important than his personal claim at that moment. He eventually did give his allegiance, but it was to protect the flock from scattering. It's a powerful lesson in prioritizing the greater good. Why do you think Imam Ali chose patience over confrontation? Share your perspective in the comments. The consequences of the event at Saqifa were immediate and long-lasting. It created a fundamental split in the Muslim world over the question of legitimate succession. This is the historical origin of the Sunni-Shia divide. For Shia Muslims, Saqifa marks the beginning of a profound political and theological divergence. It established the caliphate as a political institution chosen by men, in contrast to the imamate, which they believe is a divinely appointed spiritual and guiding office. This event set a precedent where the rightful imams from the Prophet's family, the al-Bayt, were often marginalized, persecuted, and prevented from taking their designated role as leaders of the community. In this sense, understanding Saqifa is absolutely foundational to understanding Shia identity, its theology of leadership, and its interpretation of Islamic history. So, what are the key lessons and takeaways for Shia Muslims from this pivotal event? First and foremost is the principle that true leadership must be rooted in divine guidance, impeccable knowledge, and supreme moral authority, qualities they believe were embodied in the Imams. It's not just about political power, but about spiritual guidance. Second, Imam Ali's response teaches a profound lesson on the importance of maintaining unity and preventing division, even in the face of deep disagreement and personal injustice. His patience is seen as a model of wisdom and sacrifice. And third, the event reinforces the central Shia emphasis on unwavering loyalty to the Prophet's family, the al-Bayt, as the designated custodians of Islam's true message. To wrap things up, the Twelver Shia perspective sees the event of Saqifa not just as a historical meeting, but as a critical turning point where a political decision diverged from what they believe was the Prophet's explicit divine instruction regarding Imam Ali's leadership. It is the moment that defined the path of the Imamate and shaped the course of Shia Islam forever. We hope this has given you a clear insight into this important perspective. We encourage respectful discussion and a continued quest for knowledge. What would you like to see next? A deep dive on the event of Ghadir, a video explaining the concept of the Imamate, or more on early Islamic political history? Let us know in the poll. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content.